Hey, it's Quadix here. I'm not doing the whole checklist. Like, subscribe, comment Q. More people that watch my videos are not subscribed than subscribed. It's like 51-49 right now. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Once 70% of the people that watch me are subscribed, I will do 1 hour videos on all the ongoing series. So, if you want longer videos, just subscribe, man. It's not that hard. Anyways, now, this series is Naruto is in the Akatsuki, basically. But, it's not like all the other series. This is actually done well. The Akatsuki isn't taking advantage of Naruto. The Akatsuki is kind of like Naruto's family. He was still in the Leaf Village. He left during the time skip, and he was with them for 4 years. They trained him. He's like kind of OP, not gonna lie. And then he comes back to the Leaf because they want him to stay. So he stays there. He has to stay there for 3 months, and that's where I'm at right now. I haven't gotten that far into it. I'll update you guys as I go. Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and roll the intro. Hey, a quick announcement before we get into the video. When I hit 10,000 subscribers, I will upload one video every hour of the day. So I'm gonna be uploading 24 videos a day in a day. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, I've done this announcement before, but I said subs on accident. So that's annoying. By the way, you're probably going to be seeing this in every video until I hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into the what if or fanfic. Naruto, let's go. I won't wait forever, Toby said. Coming, I yelled as I put on my mask that Itachi gave me. Naruto, I turned around to see Itachi sigh. You're wearing your shoes on the wrong foot. I looked down and quickly fixed them. If you can't handle it, I'll have someone else go, Pain said, walking up to us. I'm fine, plus, I most likely won't see anyone I know. It is a pretty far village from Konoha, I said, reassuring them. That does it. I was lifted up and thrown over Toby's shoulder. For the last time, Toby. I'm 16, this was fine when I was 12, but I'm gonna end up breaking your back, I yelled, and all hell broke loose as we heard something snap. Ah, my back! Toby would have dropped me face first if it wasn't for Sasori using his puppet jutsu. Thanks, Sasori. He gave me a slight nod and began to drink his coffee, ignoring a yelling Toby. Itachi sighed, rubbing his temples. What the hell have you been feeding Naruto? Cried Toby. Ask yourself that. You're the one who cooks, Deidara said, walking in. Toby stopped and then continued rolling around, only making the pain worse. This is what I get for wanting my little brother to grow up big and strong. It was my turn to sigh. I kneeled down. I'm big and strong, so thanks, Toby. Get some rest. I can manage this mission alone. I patted Toby's hair with gloved hands. He sniffed and nodded. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm going with you, Itachi said, looking for a way to escape from Toby for just a little while. Sure, we should get going. Oh, we'll be late though, I said my goodbyes and left. Alright, all done, I said, stretching my arms. Let's head back. Itachi? We both turned to see someone we didn't expect. Note the sarcasm. It was Team 7 and another member. Sase's face turns from surprise to angry, and he lunged at Itachi with something coming out of his hand. In the blink of an eye, it was standing in front of Itachi, and I grabbed Sasuke's wrist, stopping the attack. I used my free hand to grab his neck and tighten my grip. Sasuke clawed my gloved hand and threw a hand at my face, making the string on my mask snap. It was old anyways. It fell to the ground. A gasp came from Sakura, and I smirked as I threw Sasuke against the tree. Are you my replacement? I asked the boy in black whose skin was a gray color. Are you Naruto? He asked with a half-assed smile. And you are? I asked. Sai, he answered. I looked over at Sakura and Kakashi, then back at Sasuke. Times sure do change. I smiled and walked back to Itachi, who was trying hard not to glance over at Sasuke. I picked my mask and looked back at them. How's Ichiraku? I asked. They were dumbfounded, probably expecting a different question or an insult. Fine, Kakashi let out. Good. Itachi, we should go there before he... Ah, I sighed. Too late. I looked over at Sakura. If my eyes serve me right, you're a medical ninja now, right? Sakura nodded. Then you can heal with the after effects, I said, making a mini Rasengan with my finger and threw it at Sasuke. It pushed him so hard to the tree. Broke, of course. I didn't use the full force. If I had, he'd be dead. Sasuke! Sakura yelled, going to his aid. Don't worry, he won't die. I only put 5% of power into it, I said, turning to Itachi, who was grinding his teeth. Let's go. He will wake up soon, and I don't think you can handle fighting him yet. I know, Kakashi was hearing from the stunned look on his face. I hope to see you again, I waved to my replacement. I won't count on it, he said, looking at Sasuke, then at me. We left without another word. I knew Itachi was gonna kill me for hurting Sasuke, but I couldn't stand it. I knew he doesn't know about how could he not have faith in his own brother. Toby created me like his little brother and always does everything he can to make me happy when I get sad. That goes for the rest of the Akatsuki. We aren't blood related, yet we love like family, even with the occasional fighting. So how is it possible that your biological brother would look at you with such hate in his eyes? I stared at Itachi's back. It must be really painful for him. My eyes clouded over something I learned to do to hide my emotions. So, that's where he went, Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, asked. We saw him together with Itachi. Kakashi shot a quick glance at an irritated Sasuke. It's been 4 years since he's left. I heard rumors of a new member, but I didn't want to believe it was him. Tsunade looked down, pain in her eyes. She hadn't met Naruto until a couple of years back. At first, she didn't know he was from Konoha until she learned his name and became Hokage. Alright, you can leave. Kakashi, I want you to fill me in completely, not a single detail out. Kakashi nodded. Naruto's POV. I laid on the floor. My eyes stared at the bulb that had burned out about 2 hours ago. So, I was replaced. Well, at least Ichiraku is alright. I rolled over and got up. Everything is so messed up, isn't it? Silence. Oh, isn't it, Celine? I smiled up at the moon. Do you think it's wrong of me to be jealous? I asked, seeing a star twinkle. Yeah, I thought so. I frowned as I put my legs out of the window. I jumped out and began to walk forward into the thin woods. So, you'll talk to a spirit, but not me, Kurama said in my mind. Shut it, Fox. Damn, I thought you were dead. I sighed as I kept walking. I was reading up on the book you gave me, Kurama said. Oh? I thought you weren't interested in fairy tales, I said, raising an eyebrow. I'm not, but this book is just downright strange. This isn't even a fairy tale book. It sounds so realistic, Kurama said, almost yelling. I'm glad you think that, I yawned as I moved my head so it would miss the tree branch. I swear, kid, there's something wrong with you. The story you wrote was so sad and just depressing. I mean, if it was a fairy tale, wouldn't it have some happy ending? I looked at him in my mindscape. Not everything was a happy ending, I said before leaving. I kept walking until I could see the outline of a small shrine. I sat next to it and looked up at the barely visible trees. I dragged my legs up to my chest and hugged them. I wish you were here to sing that song to me like you used to when I was small. I smiled, a tear streamed down my cheek as I spoke up. Author's POV. Naruto, wake up, we have to go. Toby banged on Naruto's door. Naruto got up and put on his cloak and walked out into the bathroom. He brushed his teeth and combed his hair back only to have it bounce up in his usual style. He walked down to the stairs and stopped and looked around. Toby? He called out as he noticed all the lights turned off. Out here, Toby called from the outside. Naruto rushed towards the door after getting an apple. But why do all of us have to go? Deidara groaned. Hey, I thought we had the day off today, Naruto said, taking a bite of his apple. Well, I was planning on us going to the lake, but something came up, Toby said, throwing him a scroll. A clear chakra hand caught it and opened the scroll. The Hokage wants to see us? What business does Konoha have with us? Naruto asked, his mouth full of apple. Naruto, don't speak with your mouth full. Konan gave him a look. I'm guessing they want to see you. I heard from Itachi you gave them quite the greeting. Hidan elbowed him. Whatever. Do we have to go? I mean, we can still hit the lake. I could buy a watermelon. Toby shook his head. If we don't go, they plan on attacking us, Pain said. Not surprised. That's all they do know how to do. Attack. Naruto threw his apple core away. Naruto, don't you want to see how Ichiraku is? Itachi asked. Naruto looked at him and slowly shook his head. Whose side are you on? He said in a low voice. I've actually always wanted to see where you two came from. Zetsu giggled. Well, let's go, Toby yelled as he sucked them into another dimension using his eye. Ta-da! Toby moved his fingers as they magically appeared before the gates of Konoha. Let's just get this over with, Naruto said, putting on his mask. So kid, what's it like to be back home? Kurama asked. This isn't my home. It never was and never will be, Naruto yelled in his mind. Stop! What business do you have here? A guard yelled. Step down. You are the Akatsuki, yes? Another shinobi asked. Pain stepped forward with a nod. Come this way, he said as he led them towards the top of the Hokage tower. Naruto stayed near Itachi for he was closest to him and felt somewhat better around him. Lady Hokage, I have brought them, the shinobi said. Good, you may take your leave, Tsunade said. The guard bowed and left. Tsunade turned around and began to walk towards Naruto. She let out a smile as she removed his mask. You're so tall, Naruto. You should know about... Tsunade's hands were on Naruto's face until they were slapped away. I know, he's dead. Naruto looked at her with the coldest gaze that made her want to shudder. She gulped and looked away, then back at him. Naruto, we want you to come back to the village, Tsunade said, glancing at Pain. Everything is ready. Your apartment has been paid these last few years, so don't worry about where to live. So please, Naruto, come back to Konoha. If not, then we'll be forced to officially brand you a rogue ninja, and if that happens, other ninjas will come after you. I'm not asking for you to stay forever, but I want you to at least stay 6 months before deciding whether or not you want to stay. Naruto looked at her, then at Pain and Toby. If this is what you want, we will support your decision. But if you want to stay with us, we'll fight together. We're family after all. Pain smiled. Naruto looked at Itachi. We'll stay near, but just in case you change your mind. But Pain is right. Even if you officially become a rogue ninja, we will always protect you. Itachi said, his hands on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto looked back at Tsunade and then turned towards the village. What now, kid? Kurama asked. Chapter 3. 3 months. Naruto said, looking at Tsunade. I'll stay 3 months, then I'll make my decision. Tsunade thought it over, then nodded. Very well, she said. Are you sure about this? Kakuzu asked. I'll be fine. After all, I'm never alone, Naruto said. We'll be back in 3 months' times. But of course, if you choose not to stay during the 3 months, you know how to contact us, Pain said. Naruto nodded. Let's go. It doesn't seem we're quite welcome here, Toby said, looking around, seeing Anbu hidden within range. Good luck, Sasori said, patting his shoulder. Naruto looked at his shoulder and whispered something. After they all left, the Anbu left as well. You won't need those. Tsunade made a reach for his mask and cloak. Don't touch me, Naruto growled. Right. Well, I made arrangements for you to go back to your old team. So for now, you will be on a 4-man squad. They're waiting for you at the training grounds, Tsunade said. Naruto put on his mask and walked towards the edge of the roof and jumped off. Naruto! Tsunade yelled, running towards the edge to see Naruto jumping on the rooftops. She smirked. Show off, she said, going back into the tower. Naruto walked forward, not in a hurry to get there. There you are. I was beginning to think you wouldn't stay. Kakashi smiled behind his mask and waved. Hey Naruto, Sakura said cautiously. Naruto turned to her, his cold blue eyes making her sweat. "Don't you think the cloak is a little too noticeable?" she said, pointing to it. Naruto looked down and started to take it off. Sakura immediately started to blush and drool as Naruto revealed his perfectly sculpted chest and abs through his knit shirt. He turned the coat inside out and put it back on. It was now fully black. "I guess that's better. You can take off the mask too, you know," Kakashi said. Naruto looked at him for several seconds. Naruto didn't like being without the mask out of home, so he settled for putting it to the side of head. "That will do, I guess. Well, since we're basically starting over again, why don't we start with introductions? Sakura, you first," Kakashi said, clasping his hands together. "My name is Sakura Haruno, and I like training with Lady Tsunade. I hate when she ends our sessions just to go drink. My dream for the future is to become even greater than my sensei." Sakura smiled. She's changed quite a bit, Naruto thought, but she's still flat as a board. Naruto ignored Kurama. "I'm Sai. I like painting, and I don't like people looking at my personal belongings." He shot a quick glance to Sakura. "My dream for the future is, well, I don't actually know yet. I just want to live every day to the fullest, I guess." Sai gave Naruto a smile before he continued to paint. "Sasuke Uchiha. I don't like a lot of things, and I hate most things. My goal is to kill my brother and become Hokage to restore my clan." Sasuke gave Naruto a glare. "What about you, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. "My name is Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki." Kakashi went stiff at the sound of his name. "I like apples, I guess. I hate basically everything about the Akatsuki and apples. To me, having dreams or goals is useless. Failure will always follow." Naruto said the last part in a dark voice. "But what about becoming Hokage?" Sakura asked. "You sure are nosy," Naruto said, his lazy eyes as he looked at her. "Being Hokage has no merit to me anymore. Why protect the village when the village treated you like a disease?" Naruto said, and the others just stared at him as if wanting to say something, but absolutely nothing came out. "Well, it's still bright and early. Why don't we go get some training done before our first mission?" Kakashi said, getting off the stump he was on. Naruto looked around and then up. This wasn't here before, he thought as he saw an apple tree. Sakura stared at him. He was usually annoying and loud, but now he's quiet. It's a freaky change. "How?" Sakura let out as she saw an apple slowly floating towards Naruto. "But you," she started. Naruto looked at her blankly. "Did you want one?" he asked, holding out an apple. "No, that's not it." "Naruto, how did you get it down?" "You're just looking at it." Sakura pointed to the apple. "What exactly have you been doing these past few years?" Naruto asked, taking a bite out of this apple. "What do you mean?" Sakura asked Kakashi, becoming a bit interested in the conversation since he hadn't seen anything either. "The basic fundamentals. Sasori taught me them when I first got there. Since you're my..." He paused and gripped his glove hands. "Teammates, I'll teach you the basic," he said. "What's going on?" Sasuke asked, walking over to them with Sai. "Exhibit A," Naruto said as he looked at Sasuke trip forward and then be lifted up by his leg. "What the hell? What did you do?" "Get me down," Sasuke yelled. "Wow, how did you do that?" Sai asked. "I used translucent crystal," Naruto said as he put Sasuke down. "What's that?" Sakura asked. "It's a form of chakra control that takes a lot of amounts of chakra. I basically use them like an extra pair of arms. Anyways, I have somewhere to go, so if you don't mind, I'll see you later." He slid his mask back on in place and dashed away. "Translucent crystal, huh? They sure taught him some odd things," Kakashi said, stretching. "Okay, well, let's get training," he clapped. Okay guys, that's where I'm gonna end it. I know it was a bit on the short side, but I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next part. By the way, if you haven't noticed yet, there's an outro after the outro, so stay for that outro.
Wanted a bitch who was on the move, but you want it goddamn late. Got it hit one in my bed and she just wanna sleep. Fucking up all of the sheets. She only wake up to eat. Do this shit every week. Like why you do that? Crying you wanna be great, but sleeping until the next day. Why you do that? Don't got that much in the bank. We go out, she order the steak. Why you do that? Can't explain it.
Huh, you thought the video was over. No, I'm gonna talk to you more. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple of the series. This will be at the end of every video, just in case you're new or you haven't seen all the series that I've done. The series that are continuing, that I'm continuously gonna be doing, is What If Naruto Was in High School DxD. If you have not checked that out, check that out. It's in the playlist section. All of these are. What If Naruto Was Pushed to the Edge? That is continuing. What If Naruto Learned the Shadow Clone, the secret to the Shadow Clone early? That is continuing. What if Deku had the Sharingan? That is continuing. What if Naruto was Indra's reincarnation? That is continuing. What if Naruto wasn't dumb? That's continuing. What if Minato and Kushina adopted Naruto and trained Naruto? Now that's a bit confusing. Naruto is older. His parents still die at the same time, which means since he's older, his parents die when he's 6 years old. He's on a team with Itachi and I forgot his name. Shisui. Dang, I can't believe I forgot his name. The last series that is still continuing, that I have not named, is What If Naruto Was Uzumaki, Uchiha, and Senju. If your favorite series wasn't in that list, I'm sorry. Oh well. There's plenty of other great content here. I hope you enjoy your day, and you can click off the video now. If you made it this far, comment 2 Qs.